Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SP Reviews, where today I have the absolute pleasure of reviewing some new music by an act that I am familiar with called Vices Inc. We're going to be switching over to here for the single We're So Breaking Up. It has two tracks on it. We've got We're So Breaking Up and Cluck Cluck Bok. Now I actually reviewed an Everyday Hero and it was an incredibly phenomenal and intriguing an interesting album for me on several levels, many levels. It's one of the longest reviews I've ever done. But I have to say, it's one of my favorites. I really enjoy the range, the diversity, the fun, mixed with the really heavy subject matter that is often discussed within this group's group. There's a nice variety of different subject matters, and it all sounds pretty freaking incredible. And I'm looking forward to listening to these new tracks today. These two that have just been released, as far as I'm aware, from Southie Heights Records. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. So we're gonna listen to both of these tracks from start till finish, and we're gonna hear what we think. Starting with "We're So Breaking Up."
Listen, I was thinking we should break up or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. It's not gonna work out.
Where is that from? What quote is that from?
Oh.
Cool. Just before we go any further, I just want to say that having that intro there gave it all a lot of context, the entire single context. I know it's very, like, how do I say this? I know it's almost very literal, but I think that kind of not just having the music start and having that kind of sample at the beginning kind of spices things up a little bit and creates an air sort of mystique to it. These drums and guitar, dude, are really well mixed. What I love is how well that kick is coming through with the guitars and everything like that. I love how full of life and punchy that is. I dig it. I adore it. Yeah, I'm very familiar with familiar. That's not a word. I'm very familiar with the vocal style of the singer. Really great pipes. Really dig it. I think it really suits the tone of the guitars and everything. Like the different colors of this track come together really fluidly, and it's fun. You know, like you can tell. I don't know. I'm sorry for pausing this repeatedly, but there's stuff I want to sort of talk about in it. I really, even though the subject matter isn't particularly positive, you can tell there's a sort of a really good chemistry with this band. Like they really enjoy playing together just from the overall sound of it. There you go. That kind of mid 2000s kind of pop punk emo kind of alt rock vibe to it. I dig it. I love it. I adore it. I kind of miss it. I kind of miss it. You know, I review a lot of like hip hop and rap, and like I don't get a lot of this kind of music through. But when it does, it's like it refreshes me. You know, these were my roots as a teenager. I potentially, well, not potentially, I probably have a little bit of a bias towards it, but that also means that if it doesn't sound very good, I can be kind of brutal about it. But I don't have to worry about it with Vices Inc. They're great. That hook, right? We didn't even really talk about that hook, did we? I liked how it kind of went like a sort of a halftime kind of groove there. The vocals soared, man. They were the dominant force. They sat there and they did whatever the hell they wanted to, and it was great. You know, the guitars, the bass, drums, everything's really slick and clean. You know, there's no prominent resonant frequencies or anything like that.
Here's the harsh reality of my animosity. No excuses left for the rest of your toxicity.
Yeah, it sounds like it's probably good that these people kind of broke up, right? I mean, I dropped your mask and I see some cracks there. Cool. Links really well, tells a really good story, nice and clear and easy to understand for people, really effective hook. Sorry, I know I keep pausing it. Just that contrast between the first half of the hook and that kind of ending bit of it going into the interlude or whatever comes next. That's really important. You know, if you just have a hook or you just have a verse where it's just the same pace of the lyrical delivery the entire time, there's no held notes. There needs to be changes in the energy levels. There needs to be changes in intensity to keep music interesting. It needs to change. Even this like verse is interesting. You have the dun 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 bum bum. You have like a really melodic, really kind of peppy kind of 75% of that each of the verse takes, and then you have it kind of slow down and kind of conclude like with the main sort of ending sort of quote a lyrical bit, and then it sort of repeats that journey again. There's changes that are occurring enough. They're not too much that they alienate people, but it's enough to keep it sounding fresh. That guitar work is really quick. Like, am I hearing some like da 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 like that? That's really quick rhythm work. Kudos, man. That's some dope rhythm guitaring. It just I think that gives it an extra little bit of kind of, you know, that little bit of zazz, right? Because you just go dun 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 dun. It's like very kind of. It would always be sort of clunky in comparison to the rest of the track, but da 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 da. I mean, even if I'm just hearing things, the pace of it is fantastic. But if it is that double da da, I applaud that. It's the little things, you know.
Sooo Breaking Up.
Oh, good. Good. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I thought it was going to end like that. I was thinking, okay. All right. I see. That's what we got today. No, that was fun. That was really fun. Despite, obviously, no one enjoys being a part of a really crappy relationship and having... And you know, even if you're in that position where you're just having a really bad time, having to then break up with the person is also can be pretty horrendous. But like, there's just so much like I don't know, man. I just love the overall attitude of it. I really dig it. It's just I think it's because there's an assertiveness. It's kind of no, I want to get out of this, and we're just breaking up. It's done. Sick of this. Game over. You know. The guitar solo at the end. It just wanted to have a conversation, and I adore that. You know, it was consistent. It was like really kind of it was vibrant, vivacious, full of life, and I've got time for that. I've got time for guitar solos like that. You don't need to be doing sweep picking and tapping and stuff. Guitar solos like that, you can follow the melody. It suits the rest of the instruments. It's musical. I dig it. We've got Cluck Cluck Bok now. That's number 2. Cool. Well done. Cool. Those little harmonics are cute. I like them.
That's what you have. Chicken lips. That's what you have. Chicken lips, chicken feet, chicken eyes, and chicken wings.
No, you have not done this. You have not done this. I just love it. I think I love tracks like these because they're so different. They're fun. They're fun. You know, I'm gonna have to turn off the camera because I've been recording for a little while, and I don't want to. I'll turn it back on when I have to do the conclusion. But this is fun. This is fun music. You know, Vices Inc. They're serious musicians. They're professionals, but they also don't take themselves too seriously. It's like they just know they have a sense of balance and equilibrium to them.
Wait, I think it's just a chicken.
A nice bit of sizzle to that. No. Dude, this is one of the best B-sides I've heard, man.
That's what you have. Because a chicken is what you are. Cock-a-doodle-doo, 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 cock-a-doodle-doo. Cock-a-doodle-doo, 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 cock-a-doodle-doo.
You know, I'm like, for real, I'm 30 years old, and this kind of stuff makes me feel like my inner child is happy. But I also think that really, I even as a music reviewer, dude, I don't think a lot of people take music too seriously nowadays. Like, it's just so good to hear a band having fun. I do interviews with bands, and I talk to them about their music, and it's often very, very serious. And that's fine, because a lot of people are desperate for that opportunity to do something and kind of get to that next stage in their career where they can maybe make a living for it. So they're hustling and they're grinding and they're doing all this work and all that kind of stuff. But man, it can just be really nice to hear from sort of creative people like in forums like this. Cluck Cluck Bok is one of my favorite singles. I love We're So Breaking Up, but I love just how unique and invigorating an experience this is.
Poultry over there? Yeah, they're all jealous. So is the duck in my freezer. Did you just lay an egg, mother clucker? Hey, what are you eating? Put that down!
I would love to know how they came up with this.
You okay, man? You know, you're walking kind of funny. Oh, jeez, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that's just how you walk. I feel really bad.
Hey,
Okay, what you...
Paul?
Yeah, Paul?
I think there's something wrong with the chickens. Oh, there's something wrong with those chickens.
Well, you may have heard of cat scratch fever.
I think we're at a level now. Like, we were there before, don't get me wrong. Like, the stuff I listened to from Vice in the past is pretty good, but we're at a level now with the engineering, that the studio side of things is so good that I just tune out from needing to be like, oh, that bass guitar is resonant. Oh, that lead solo was a bit loud in the mix. I can just enjoy it, like, for that, and it's really nice.
Avian flu.
Nice vocal harmonies with the guitar solo, man. Like this track, the vocal performance has obviously been the star of the show, but like the rest of the instruments, like the guitar, bass, rhythm section, drums, and all that kind of stuff, is just dope.
Hey, close that door. What were you, raised in a barn?
You know, like I thought it was just like I the beginning with Clark Bach. I was wondering if it was just kind of like Vice just kind of roasting a dude who was like who maybe looked like a chicken and acted like a chicken and maybe laying an egg was making a mess and everything like that and kind of I don't know. It's interesting. Like I don't necessarily know how to take this. Whether to take it, you know, I don't know. But I adore it. I really adore this track, and I think the best way to take a song like this, if you know, instead of trying to figure out the varying reasons behind the lyrics and try to do a really in-depth analysis of it, is just to say you had a really good time. Just had a really fun time with it. I know it's not maybe as critical, but yeah, I feel as if literally 99% of the review otherwise has been fairly analytical. You know, I adore the single. I think that Vices Inc. have managed to find a place for them to sit nice and comfortably. I think that the style of music they're creating is very familiar to them, and they do it naturally. The album that's coming up, if they have this level of production involved, is going to be stunning. I'm really blown away by how well everything sat in the mix, how clean the recordings were. I love the personality that involved, the confidence of these musicians and what they do and who they are is just refreshing. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I've got no doubts about their ability to just rip and tear when this comes out. It's gonna, you know, like it's so cool. I love it. Please do go and show Vices Inc. some support. This isn't even my bias, like towards this kind of music. You know, it has kind of made my day, or at least it'll be one of the things that makes my day a lot better. Is hearing this single, like genuinely, because it was just, you know, I've said it a lot of times now. This is the last time I say it. It felt good. It really can't. I don't have any complaints about how it was written. Each of these tracks was just was below the 4 or literally just below that 4-minute mark. I think that's a very conscious decision on behalf of the band, just because when you're releasing singles, you typically want to kind of have it under that 4-minute mark, just so that you get the highest percentage of people, and you kind of remove any chance of those people being like, oh, 4 minutes and 4 minutes is a long time. 3 minutes 59 isn't that long at all, but you know what I mean? But like the 2 to 4 range for tracks is typically what you kind of want in terms of length. And yeah, that's basically my review of We're So Breaking Up by Vices Inc. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this review. Hopefully you enjoyed listening to the music. Please do go and check out Vices Inc.'s various social medias and Spotify. And they've got, you know, an everyday album, the album that they released previously, as well as other tracks, and they're all pretty dope, all pretty sick. And I just think these guys are going to keep getting better and better. Please also remember to support your local musicians at this point in time, as need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and stay cool and stay safe. I'll catch you in the next review. Spider hands up. Thank you, Vices Inc. Did well.